Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is unlikely to go far in his career no matter what he says. While he might get excited and talk about future plans, he doesn't put in the steady work or take bold action to back up those words. If you're hoping for someone who will truly climb the ladder, you may end up disappointed.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's most likely to break down or avoid facing the problem. He isn't used to pushing through tough times. Instead, he gets upset quickly and may even withdraw or give up.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
At work, people probably find him polite and easy to talk to in everyday moments, but they may also think he's not very dependable in tough situations. He usually gets along because he avoids fights and tries to keep things pleasant. However, when problems pop up, he might get upset or disappear quietly instead of handling the issue.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's unlikely to feel proud or be your biggest supporter. Instead, he may quietly feel insecure or left behind, but won't say much about it. He might act distant or just avoid talking about your achievements rather than celebrating with you.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he may feel insecure deep down, but he probably won't show it through arguments or harsh words. Instead, he's likely to become quieter or withdraw, keeping his feelings hidden. Over time, this can lead to emotional distance between you both.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He usually handles money carefully and doesn't spend without thinking. He likes to keep things organized and tidy, so he's likely to keep track of what comes in and goes out. He isn't the type to splurge on sudden big purchases or risky investments.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives a life he can afford and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. He's careful about managing his daily routines and won't spend money just to look successful in front of others. Instead, he sticks to what he knows and keeps things simple and within his means.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He tends to be quite tight with both money and his way of thinking. He's careful with how much he spends and usually sticks closely to his own rules and routines. He prefers to play it safe and keep things for himself rather than going out of his way for someone else.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be quiet and private about money rather than openly discussing it with you. He won't usually start arguments or try to control you, but he also won't share freely about finances. It's not about being sneaky, it's more his habit to keep things inside and not fully open up.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He will likely believe housework should be done properly and regularly, but he won't be the one insisting it's only your job. Still, he's not the type to jump in and share the load energetically either. He may expect routines and tidiness, but won't step up as an equal partner without being asked.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to play the part of a supervisor rather than getting his hands dirty with chores or diapers. He prefers to see things done neatly, but he rarely jumps in on his own unless pushed. You may catch him watching or reminding you about routines instead of being truly helpful.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's not someone who will argue loudly just to prove his point, but he also doesn't put in much effort to truly understand your side. When there's a disagreement, he tends to pull back and keep his feelings to himself rather than discuss things openly. You may feel he's distant or not really listening, and sometimes he avoids the whole conversation altogether.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he is more likely to become quiet, withdrawn, or even sulky rather than say hurtful things or act aggressive. He prefers to keep things polite on the surface, even if he's upset inside. You may feel ignored but rarely attacked.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry or upset quite quickly, even over small things. He is easily triggered, and rather than showing it through shouting, he tends to sulk, become silent, or withdraw from you. It might not look dramatic, but it's a serious concern.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry and take real responsibility when things go wrong. Instead of openly admitting his mistakes, he tends to avoid the topic, shut down, or quietly act as if nothing happened. This can leave you feeling unsupported, as if fixing things is always up to you.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is generally polite and doesn't push loudly against boundaries, but that doesn't always mean he deeply understands or respects them. If you say no, he's likely to back off with little fuss, but more out of habit than real understanding of your feelings. If feeling truly heard and valued matters to you, his quiet ways may not be enough.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Even though he won't say anything directly or start a fight, you may notice him becoming quiet, withdrawn, or even a bit sulky. This silent treatment can make you feel guilty or uneasy, even if you've done nothing wrong.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to keep private moments private. He's not the kind of person who would use your secrets, special memories, or intimate moments to hurt or embarrass you later on. His instinct is to avoid conflict, not to cause harm.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He prefers routine, keeps to himself, and doesn't go looking for excitement outside the relationship. Being involved in drama or chasing after someone new isn't his style, as he feels more comfortable in stable, familiar situations.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't likely to be overpossessive or act in a jealous, controlling, or suspicious way. Instead of policing your actions or questioning your every move, he tends to keep his worries and feelings to himself. He might feel insecure at times, but he won't usually show it by making harsh rules or acting clingy.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature is not a sign of a controlling personality. He is not someone who tries to boss you around or make decisions for you under the name of caring. He is much more comfortable avoiding conflict than trying to control your actions.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is more likely to expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. While he might follow routines or pitch in when directly asked, he doesn't step up as a true partner or share the mental load. You may often find yourself carrying most of the responsibility, both in daily tasks and in decision making.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper quickly, even over small things. Instead of staying calm and guiding them gently, he may react with sudden irritation, go silent, or withdraw from everyone. He won't usually yell, but his mood will change, and the kids might feel the coldness or tension in the air.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may find it difficult to truly support you as both a mother and your own person. While he isn't openly critical, he's not skilled at encouraging you to balance your needs, dreams, or self care along with parenting. This may make it hard for you to feel valued beyond just your role at home.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he could be the kind of man who seems fine with your career at first, but then quietly expects you to step back or quit once a child is in the picture. He isn't likely to say it directly or pick fights about it, but you may sense a shift after the baby arrives, less encouragement, less help, and more silent expectation that you'll handle everything at home. You'll need clear talks early on to avoid surprises later.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface with your parents rather than showing real warmth. He will follow basic manners and avoid open conflict, making sure to be courteous when they visit or call. His interactions may feel formal or a bit distant rather than genuinely affectionate. He is more likely to quietly hope your family adjusts to his ways rather than putting in effort to fit into theirs.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's more likely to withdraw or go silent rather than handle it calmly. He won't get into fights or make a big scene, but his way of dealing by avoiding and shutting down can actually make things worse. His quietness might create more distance or tension, making it harder for everyone to move forward.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might act more modern and casual with you in private, but will expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives and elders. When family is around, he's likely to quietly want you to follow their customs, stick to routines, and maintain a certain image, even if he doesn't say it openly. He won't usually argue or force you, but you may feel pressure from his silent expectations or from his side of the family.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he will most likely stay out of it rather than support you openly. He avoids uncomfortable situations and chooses silence over taking a stand, even if you need him by your side. Sometimes this can feel like he's siding with them simply because he doesn't speak up for you.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He does have some qualities of a mummy's boy, especially when it comes to avoiding conflict with his mother. If there's a disagreement between you and her, he is unlikely to openly take your side or stand up for you. Instead, he will probably retreat, hoping the problem goes away on its own.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is unlikely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He tends to keep personal matters to himself rather than talk openly about them with others. If open communication is important to you, this habit may leave you wishing for more connection and support.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Being in a relationship with this man, day in and day out, can feel safe and predictable, but also emotionally lonely and heavy. He sticks to routines and avoids risks, so life runs on schedule, but with little excitement or real partnership.